Another compositing technique that you'll often see, and which I'm going to talk about here, is the PIP effect, the PIP effect, or to give it its full name, picture-in-picture. Now, even if you've never heard or even seen the effect, I'm fairly certain you can work out what I mean just by that description, picture-in-picture. Well, we're going to look at it using it with our project. Now, in the last tutorial, I'm sure you remember, we built up this project with this text overlaid on the top of our video and with the video fading into a photograph. Here, though, I want to adapt that and create an alternate advert by using the PIP effect. So, first of all, I'm going to remove the text, not all of it, but some of it, the lyrics, although to be honest I could just as easily keep it. But to keep things as simple as possible here, let's remove those two pieces of text. All I need to do, of course, is select them and hit delete on my keyboard. Now, as I say, I'm going to retain the third lot of text. You'll see why as we progress. Okay, now my next step is to move my video around and the photograph around so that the photo is the base layer on video track 1, whilst the video will float above it on video track 2. As I'm doing this initially, the video will totally cover what's on video track 1, i.e. the photograph, and that's only because the video is exactly the same size. It completely fills the dimensions of our screen. And whilst I'm doing this, I also want to remove those fades. I don't really need those now for this example, so I'll click on the keyframes and drag them up to 100% so those fades don't occur. Okay, so once I have juggled the position of the video and the photographs and removed those fades, what we see is our top layer, the video covering the photograph as I've said. So let's rectify this by making the video smaller in size. And we do it by coming up to the effect controls, and in the motion category, underneath position is scale. I'm going to reduce its size from 100%, i.e. full size, down to 50%. I'll use the drag slider to reduce to 50%, and so then now it's centrally located in the middle of the program monitor. So now we see that photograph behind it. Not all of it, of course, because we still do retain some of the video covering it up, but essentially the video is 50% of its original size. Well, from this point, that's what we've got. We've got a PIP, a PIP, a picture-in-picture effect going on. But maybe I want to adjust this further in terms of the position. Maybe I don't want it to be located centrally. So I'll come back up to the effect controls, and this time to position. And whatever those two positional settings are set at the moment, well, you can either type in and change it, or you can drag it, as we've done previously, to a different position for this axis. And whilst I'm doing it, I'll just keep my eye on it to initially judge where I want it. Now, I realise at our screen resolution, we are just off screen. You'll see this better on a full monitor. Anyway, I'll also do the other axis, so I can vacillate between the horizontal and vertical position where I want it to be, where I want this video to be located. I think I'm going to settle on here initially anyway, in the bottom left corner. Okay, well, now on reflection, perhaps the text is too much, in terms of it being too large. So I'll edit that, like we did in the previous tutorial. Recalling up the title panel is as simple as double-clicking on it there, down on the timeline. We're not creating a new one, we're just reopening this one. Okay, and all I would do is play about with the text size and position, and once I'm happy with it, I'll click on the close down cross once more in the top right hand corner of the title panel to see what we've got. Okay, well, on reflection, I think I'd rather have it sized at 35%, even smaller, than the 50% that we've already reduced it to. So I'm going to have to readjust the position parameters too to compensate. But once I'm done and once I'm happy, let's have another look. Okay, great. And from this point, that video clip will now play back at this 35% size over our static photograph, with some text at the end, courtesy of the titler over the top of the image.